This conference will now be recorded.
So we discussed about policies and other concepts, right?
Yes.
So let me open second. Yeah, so we were discussing the importance of a IAM user, and we also discussed that we should not log in using root credentials, and we also discussed how to create a root alias, right? And we also configured multi-factor authentication. So I just explained you and showed you a demonstration which was on the another third party authenticator, but I prefer using Google Authenticator. Okay, so it was mobile multi-factor authentication is best. Okay, so in this way, if someone steals my password, so without my mobile phone, they will not be able to log in. So this was where we stopped last week, right? And we also know the structure of policy, that is EAR. Remember as a year, meaning effect, that is allow or deny, actions, right, and resource. So action in the sense like what he can do, like whether he's only having read access or along with read some write access is only describe actions. Okay, and if he's having that permission, and what resources, like only on EC2 or S3 bucket and so on, right? Okay, so now until today we were only discussing about one type of logging in to the AWS resources, that is graphically logging in like this, right? So you can log in and see the resources like this, isn't it? So this is one way. What is the other way is, let me show you. The other way of accessing the resources is via programmatically. Okay, so before going to the console, let me explain what you mean by programmatically. See, programmatically in the sense, see, the developer will have SDK, right? So let me draw here. So SDK means software development kit. That means they will use the or SDK. Okay, let me first draw a developer here so that you will understand. Okay, or yeah, so think he is a developer here, and he will write some code. Okay, so he will write some code. Okay, and in this code he will write like it can be like simple 6 lines, 10 lines, 100,000. It depends on environment, I mean project to project. Okay, so what will happen that in this coding he will mention the SDK or CLI credentials, that is command line interface. Okay, so using this he will interact with the AWS resources. So let me write here. Okay, so using this he will interact with the AWS resources, meaning he will just pass those credentials in his code, embedded in his code, and whenever he is executing that code, automatically those it will trigger the AWS resources. So he can delete, he can create, he can attach anything, right? So all those things he will be able to do. Okay, because not everyone can, I mean, not all resources require, only we require this management console, because we human prefer to see things like this, isn't it? but the programs doesn't require this access. Okay, so that day we were discussing on the two types of access. So I will show you today the second type of access, which is programmatic access, right? So let me log into my, right? So let me log in. So again, I'm logging with the root credential just to show you, right? Okay, I think. Set Z5 Z3. So now, so we require this kind of access. Otherwise, it becomes difficult for us to manage the things, isn't it? So let me go to the IAM and show you the second type of access, which is command line access or a programmatic access. Okay, so again, I'll go to the user and add user. So as you can see, I'll mention as programmatic user. Okay, so for this, you don't require this management console, so you have to select this, right? And you have to go to the permission. So permission, after this, the next steps will be one and the same. So you are going to add them to the which group, like developers group, network admin group, or anything you can add. Okay, so but for now, because he is a programmatic access, I'm creating because for some use cases, so I'm going to give him S3 bucket access. So I'm giving Amazon S3 full access, right? And then click on next and create user. Yes, now this you have to be very careful, don't share with anyone. Okay, once you are done with the practice, please deactivate. I will show you in the demonstration as well, right? Okay, so now remember this passcode. Now coming back to the our use case here. Okay, now we have created the credential. Okay, now we will embed it in our use case. So first thing what I'll show here is, this is the first use case. So last week I ended the session explaining that the resources inside the AWS environment will not be able to send anything to other resources. Okay, so this is EC2 or VM virtual machines you can consider, and this is a S3 bucket. So S3 bucket is just like your Google Drive. Okay, so just as you might have seen me using Google Drive, right? So to store my PPTs and diagrams and everything. So same way, it's a object-based storage. So what do you mean by object-based storage? In the sense you can dump here anything without creating any size. Okay, here the size will be infinity. When you're creating any bucket, right, the size will be infinity, meaning you don't specify any size. But whereas while you're creating EC2 instance, you might have observed that for the EBS volume you need to specify a size, or else by default it will be 8 GB. I will show you that as well. Okay, so you have created both the things. You have created EC2 and on S3 bucket. Now what is the problem statement? So we have an application inside the EC2, and that application is writing logs every second. In that way, the disk is getting full within 2-3 days. So the first solution is you can add disk space. Okay, but again the cost. Again in some days it will again get filled, right? Isn't it? So to order, in order to solve this problem statement, there is a cheaper storage solution which is S3 bucket. So you can create, okay, and you can push the logs from this server to this server. So that is the solution. But there is a restriction here. Restriction is by default, this is not allowed to talk to this. It will get a permission denied error. So using this programmatic access user, okay, we are going to configure this. Okay, so I will show you how you can do that. Okay, so, and this is one thing. Another thing is, rather than creating anything manually, you can use the CLI access to create any resources. So that also I will show you. Okay, so there is a complete CLI documentation. You need to go through that official documentation, and you have to sorry, use those CLI commands to create your resources accordingly. So why we use these CLI commands is because it becomes easier for you to create anything. Okay, so both the things I will show you today, right? Okay, so for our problem statement, first let us create the EC2 instance, and then we'll create the S3 bucket. So let me log on to the console. Keep this as it is. Otherwise, if you don't download, this will be gone. Okay, so I will keep this as it is, and I'll go to the EC2 section, and I'm going to create the server or virtual machine or anything you may want to call it. Okay. Okay, so now I have 3 instances running. Okay, already 3 instances running, and this is what I was talking about. If you check any instance, right, they will use these volumes. Okay, so these are the sorry, volumes. As you can see, let me delete this first. Okay, so as you can see, each volume comes with the respective sizes. Okay, and in AWS, please remember, you can only increase the size, you cannot reduce the size. So that is the catch here, right? Suppose if you want to increase the size from 80 GB to 100, you can, but from 100 GB to 80 GB, you cannot. So that is the restriction. Okay, yes. So now let us create, and I'll show you where the volume section will come. So go to launch instance, and you can name it as demo for CLI or demo for programmatic access, and whatever I am doing, right? So these are all experienced in real time. So real time we face this issue, so that is why we have to go with it. Okay, and I'm going to create a new key pair, or let me just check. I have this key pair with me, or let me create. Let me check. Canada. I think I don't have. Okay, let me create a new one. Better. Create a new key pair. So I will add it as GPS Canada dash admin. Okay, so this will have a administrator access. Okay, so I will show. Okay, I'm saving here. Save. Okay, now so this is the, yeah, see, I was telling about the storage, right? See here, 1 into 8 GB. Can you see here? Let me maximize. Yeah, see here. So 1 into 8 GB, GP2. So this is the volume we are talking about, right? So you have to mention the size like 8, 9, 10. Otherwise, it will not work out, right? So again, what I'm doing, allow SSH. Yeah, that is fine now. And I'm launching the instance. And always select T2 micro, which is free tier eligible. Okay. And launch instance. Yes. So until this is getting launched, so let us go and create a S3 bucket. And go in the search bar, search for S3. Okay. So click on create bucket, right? And this is bucket is a global entity. So how you can make it? By this symbol, by this setting here. So as you can see, all the regions are grayed out. So that means as IAM is a global entity, S3 bucket is also a global entity. Okay. But why it asks for region is, see, even though this is global, but there will be a certain compliance requirement that your data should be in your region only. In the sense, see, your company restriction or your company law may say that our data should not be shared across all the countries. So I will just ensure that you will create in the Mumbai region. So similarly, I am going to also, as this company is in Canada, so I am going to create only in Canada region. But you can manage all the S3 bucket in a single console. Okay, so and this bucket name, as this is global, this name should be unique. For example, if I want to create Mithun React app, so this name should be unique. Okay, and leave everything as it is. Don't worry about these settings for now. We'll go in deeper when I take up S3 module. Okay, just create it. So as you can see, it is creating because no one has taken this name. But after this, even I will not be able to create the bucket with the same name. I will just show you. So click on create bucket. I'll take the same name. If I hit create, it will say already exists. I need to change the app2 or 22 like that. Okay. So let us not create. Just for your understanding, I just explained. Okay. Now go inside the S3 bucket. Did you notice something that while creating bucket, I didn't specify any size because there is the size is infinite. You can just upload here like we upload in Google Drive, right? So you can just add files or folder from your any file for that matter you can add here, and you can add a folder also. This one like this, you can add an entire folder. Okay, but we are not going to do that because our problem statement is this. We want to send the logs from here to here, right? Okay, so now our bucket is ready, server is ready. Now let us log into the server. Okay, so let's click on this. Okay, so my server is ready, and click on the public IP. So go to the downloads and ssh-i GPS Yeah.
Sir, after when we get struck, if we don't get the dollar mark, what should we do, sir? In the command line interface in Git Bash, we have to exit.
Which dollar mark you are talking about?
There is a dollar mark at the left side, extreme left side. No, sir. Sometimes this command will get struck. Whatever.
Yeah, you have
We
to
cannot exit.
You then in that case you have to kill this process and you have to start a new session. Okay, so you have to go to this one, like Control Alt Delete and kill the process. Okay, Windows
Okay,
Task
sir.
Manager will appear. You have to go there and kill that process. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Or else
Okay.
can we use Control C, no Mithun, so that whatever
No,
it's not.
sometimes Control C also will not work. So that's what he meant. It will not come out. So it will get hang. So at that time
Okay.
you cannot do anything. You have to come out. Okay, so now I have logged in. Right, so this is my server. Okay, now I do not have application, but I can create some dummy logs for my testing purpose. Okay, so how we can create? So touch is the command to create any empty files. Okay, so touch logs, then 1 to 100. So this is the command. It will create log files from 1 to 100. Okay, so logs 1, logs 2, logs 3, and extension can be anything, or we can do like this. So app dash react to .log. So yeah, so this way. If you do ls, now I can see there is a lot of files here. That is sorry, app react 70.log, act react excuse me. Yeah, so from 1 to 100 we have the logs. Now what is the command to send to the S3 bucket? Right, what is the command? So the command is AWS S3 move and the any file name. So randomly I'll take the first one. Move the file name to where you will move, S3 colon // and your bucket name. So the bucket name you will get it from here. Okay, now if you notice here, now the bucket is empty. See here. Okay, nothing is there, but I will not be able to push. It will fail. See, move failed, unable to locate credentials. So this is looking for this actually. So this is looking for this access key ID and secret access key. If I feed these two things to this server, then automatically it will start pushing. Okay, so how we can embed this? So you have to run the command AWS configure and enter. So AWS access key ID. So copy this and enter. Secret access key. So copy this. Okay, so and what is the region? So the region is, if you are getting stuck, you can check from here, CA-central-1. So CA-central-1 and format will be JSON. That's it. Okay, only these 4 steps if you do, that's it. If you can now, if you try to move, it will be done. Endpoint URL, just a second. Then React app. Just a second. Move field app.log to S3 bucket. S3 app React 1 log could not connect to the endpoint URL. It is not 1 second.
There is that for the spelling mistake which you wrote it as a central rather than central.
Oh yes, yeah, that is a mistake. 1 second. So let me do it again. CA dash central dash 1. Yeah, so that is why it is not able to connect. Okay, now it will work. Yeah. Okay, so if I go back and refresh here, so as you can see, it has come here. Okay, so our problem statement is solved. Okay, isn't it? But I don't want to do manually. I want to do it automatically at a particular time. So how we can do that? So for that there is a tool from Linux which is called as Cron Job, which will do this job for me. Okay, so I will do a cron tab hyphen E, you have to do it. Okay, and press insert. And okay, so what is the time now actually? So let us see the time now. Okay, so we will configure. Now it's already 14:59, right? So we will make sure that it will run on 15:10. Okay, so how to do that? So first you have to write the minute. So 10 minute, then 15 means for hour, minute, hour. Then third one is day of month. So star, month of the year, and day of week. Okay, and I need to mention the command. Okay, so what is that command? So the command is, or else what I will do, I will just write one script to execute at this point. So home ec2 dash user dash s3 move.sh. Okay, so just copy this full location, and what happened? Second, yeah, yeah. So I will let us change to 25 because this may take some time. So I'll make it as 25. Okay, fine. So I'm going to copy this and save it. Now error is in content install. Why it is not? One minute. Okay, so 25th minute, and then 15, right? Okay, now it will get saved. Okay, so now it has installed. Now what is the time now? So 15:02. So 15:25 it will trigger automatically. So until that, let us create our script to move the files, right? So I will create a script like this. So all the script should start with the shebang line. So this is the shebang line. So bin bash, and I'll just write a simple code. So for I in ls home ec2 dash user. Okay, so for I in or else you can also do. Okay, let us first try this. Okay, so for I in ls home ec2 dash user, then semicolon, do what? Do AWS S3 move $I, okay, to S3 colon / this. Okay, and you can close it as done. Okay, so it is very simple script because I don't want to do manually. So let us try what it will enter. Okay, so ls home ec2 dash user. So it is same as going to cd sham ec2 dash user and doing the ls. Okay, so just wait and watch. So what is the time now? It will trigger by 15:25. Okay, so until then we will exploring the some other. Okay, or let us change the time. Wait a minute. So what is the time now? 15:04, right? So we'll make it as a 15:06. So cron tab -e 06. Okay, so first one is a minute bit. Yeah, so now let us keep watching and see there is already files. Okay, so now let us watch the time. Time now. What will be the time? So this command will checking the time every 2 seconds, right? Okay, let me data. Yeah, so every 2 seconds it will show the time. Yes, almost we are close. 15:06. Yes, so cron job must have triggered. So let us see. 1 second. Where log cron. Oh, okay, I got it. Why? So see, for anything to work, the script, right? So where is the script? Home ec2 user, right? Yeah, so open it. We need to first give the execute permission. So s3 move.sh, and I'm going to keep this file because if I will move the file to some other location. Okay, so mkdir scripts. So I will move s3 move.sh to the script folder. Okay, now go to the scripts and take the full path here. So I will give like this. Okay, so now you run cron tab -e, and here yeah. Okay, and wait a minute, and one more thing I need to change is I'll name it change it to 9 or something, right? Or 8, 0, 8. Yeah. Okay. So what is the time now? Yeah. Yes. Now let us see. If I come back. Cat var log cron. Yeah, it is move right. It has execute permission. Okay, so let me try to run if it is executing or not. Okay, it is actually moving. Okay, I have stopped here. So let us see. Yeah, so as you can see, it is the cron job has worked actually. So it took some time, right? So I just ran only some these things 80, 80, 81, 82, 83, 85, 86. Right? So you can also check. So this is so every day if your logs are getting accumulated, right? So that will keep on pushing. Okay, and if you want to run that cron job every second, right, or every minute, so you can change that. So we can test. So let us see. So cron tabs -e, just change it to star. See, star means every value. Okay, every value it will take. Means every minute, every hour, every month, every day of the year, and every week. Okay, so now you will see the files have gone actually. So now let me create one more files. So now I will create with a different name. So cron tab dash working 1 to 100 dash works. Okay, now you can see it is there, but the cron job will push them in some time. Okay, so just wait. See, now slowly it is reducing. Now let us go back to this console and refresh. Yeah, see, cron tab working -1 works. Cron tab dash working 10 dot works. So now see, sometimes the cron job will take some time to, right? So now it will, every file will be pushed. So this is how in production environment we do work. Okay, so now what will happen? Okay, now this is working fine. Now what will happen, that when I have used this command, right? So AWS configure thing. Okay, so it is asking for edit ID. I am feeding it. That is totally fine. But this is a security issue. Okay, this is a security issue. Okay, and one more thing. This is a one case scenario. Okay, where we use, see, already all the files have been moved. Done. Empty. Okay, now this is one use case. So this is where we are talking. So now we are able to push to S3 bucket. Okay, so we use the CLI or the programmatic access not only to push logs, we may create the bucket also. Right, I will show you one sample. Okay, so AWS S3 make bucket, MB is for make bucket. Okay, so you don't need to remember. Okay, just if you Google, there is an official documentation, you will get it. So let me show you that. Just a second. So AWS CLI to create S3 bucket. So just Google here and you will get lot of documentation. You will go crazy. So many options are there. So developer use these kind of things. So there's a here, see S3 API also you can make, or S3 also you can create. So create bucket, dash bucket, my bucket, and region. So let us use this only, right? Isn't it? So copy this. See what will happen, the human effort will reduce if you using the, now see here this it will get an error because my bucket would have already been taken, right? See, let me show you. I will need to change the region. Okay, so CA central, for an error occurred, illegal constraint when calling the create bucket operation, the unspecified location constraint is any correct only, right? Let me just check. Yeah, CA central 1. Second.
Sir, again central spelling is wrong.
Wait. No, CENTRAL, right?
There was only
CEN.
Centra one.
No, central. See here.
Central one, no, sir. That one.
Central
Okay.
dash 1. Okay, maybe let me change this to Mithun dash my bucket. Okay. We'll do one thing. We'll remove this region because region I have already set right in the default region. So irrespective of this, it will going to create in the region itself. So let us first try with the my bucket. Something is there when calling the illegal constraint exception. Okay. AWS S3. I will use this command and see. Okay, bucket dash. See, MB is the string and the path. See here example AWS S3 MB and my bucket. I can also do this, right? So let me try this. MK AWS S3 MK means make bucket. So my dash bucket. Invalid argument. Just a second. Okay, let me just try AWS S3 LS. Yeah, it is working for LS, but it is listing the bucket. Make bucket React dash 2022 dash app. Let me give this colon. Yes, so this colon was missing. Okay, so it is expecting this prefix, right? So This way it becomes easy. So otherwise, if you have to go to the console and create the bucket, right? So it takes a lot of time. So let me show you here. So if you come back and if you refresh, so as you can see, Mithun React app, then React 2022 app, all these things are deleted. And for deleting also it will be useful. So you can use the RB, remove bucket, so it will remove, right? Clear? So this way, so not only bucket, you can create EC2 instance also. Okay, so I will leave that to explore. Okay, so just go to the official documentation. You can create an EC2 instance also, like this. AWS, click on the AWS CLI command reference and you can search for EC2 and you can create here. See, so many options are there. So developer use these kind of things for automation. Okay, so though you don't need to remember, there is a complete documentation, you can always make use of it. Okay, right. Now coming back to the, okay, so now what and all bucket is there. So I created React app 2022. So AWS S3 LS. So I want to delete this one now. So it becomes easy. Okay, so this bucket not empty. So you are, because it is not empty, so it is not allowing me to delete. So let us try this one. Okay, let me use the dash recursive unknown option. Let's try this. Let me just check here. Yeah, so I can use just a minute. Yeah, I will use this dash force in the end. Let's try that. One second, why it is not working? Second. See, this is force, it will work. If your bucket doesn't have a versioning enabled, you can use RB and the force to read the, it should work. Let us see whether we have enabled versioning. Yeah, this one, right? Not this one. Which one I was trying here? 1 2 3 2 3 4. 1 2 3 2 3 4. Yeah, this one. So I have enabled versioning. Okay, let us try this. Got it. See, if you have enabled versioning, right? So it will not allow you to delete. So I need to edit this setting, and now it will work. Let's see. See command. Wait. Keep package. Yeah. So we can use this command to delete. I was using recursive, right? So I will use remove bucket rather than remove, and dash dash recursive, meaning it will delete all the contents. See, now it will work. Now you don't require force, right? It is not getting error. Yes, so now let us try to. Okay, so sometimes what happens is, if we have versioning enabled, right? So in the backend there will be some data which you cannot delete from the CLI. Okay, so at that point of time you have to go to the console and delete it manually, right? Okay, so this is the way. Now we are doing everything via CLI. That is totally fine. Now if you observe here, go to, there is a hidden directory called AWS, and if you see here, there is a credential file. So this is where it has stored this AWS access key ID and secret access key. If someone having access to this, he may do some damage. Okay, if someone deletes also, it will be waste. Okay, if someone comes here and he will just remove credential, that's it, gone. See, AWS configure, again it will ask nothing. So if I try to something, if I try to list also, I will not be able to list. AWS S3 LS, see, unable to locate credential. So this is a security issue. So how to solve this problem? So we want to achieve this. We want to achieve everything via CLI, but we don't want to expose our credential to any user. So how do we do that? So the answer to this, or the solution to this problem statement, is roles. Coming back to the diagram here, is you can attach role. This you can see here, right? So you can attach this role to the EC2 instance. Okay, so any user will be able to, because the roles you can create in the IAM console and attach to the instance. Okay, so let us do that, how we can create the role. So go to the IAM, and I'm going to delete this user, I mean this CLI user. Okay, once you're done with the practice, right? So please make it a habit to delete that user. So I'm going to delete this and put the name as delete. Okay, so next concept is roles. Okay, so which is the final concept in IAM, right? So this role, how you can create? So create a role, right? And you have to select AWS service, and common use case is EC2, and click on next. So what permission you give? So S3, right? So search for S3 and you can give S3 full access and go to next, and you can give any meaningful name. So write you can create S3 role for EC2, S3 role for EC2. Okay, so this is the logic here. It will STS assume role means all the user will assume this role. Okay, now create role. Wait a minute. Okay, S3 role for EC2 already exists. So for instance, I will name it as instance. Okay, so it is created. Now still, by just simply creating, will it work? No, you need to attach it to the EC2 instance. So how we are going to do that? So we click on the view role. Okay, so as you can see, and you can keep adding the permission. Okay, not only S3. So you can keep on adding this one. Okay, so now go to the instances section and go to the actions and instance settings, or security. You have to go see modify IAM role. So I have to click here and choose IAM. See, where is that? S3 role for EC2. I created role. No, where is that? Wait a minute. I have created S3 role for instance. Yeah, it is done. Okay, go again. Let us see. So go to security, modify IAM role. It is not S3 role for instance. Why it is not displaying here? Second. Let me delete the old role. Okay, so let me delete this one also.
AWS, sir. Yes, is missing.
Yeah, okay, so now let us see. I don't know why it is not displaying here. Okay, let me delete it again. I'll create AWS service EC2. I will create one more time. Okay, create role AWS service, common use case EC2. Next, S3 full access, role name, okay. So now let us go here. Yeah, now it is coming. Okay, so S3 role for instance and update IAM role. So once I have attached this, so it will start working now. See, so you can delete the bucket also. Clear? So this is why we make use of the role. Okay, and not only this, so in this way, see, there is no credential security threat. So you can see there is no credential file. You don't require, because only the administrator will have this kind of management console access, and he will add the or modify the roles. Okay, clear? See, because this is very useful when we are doing something, right? So we can do a lot of things with the CLI, right? I will show you one more thing. So for example, okay, okay, I will not terminate. After this, I'm going to terminate it. Okay, so go to the volumes. See, now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 volumes. Now this is a type GP2. Okay, so I want to modify them to next generation, that is GP3. Okay, you're getting it. So I want to modify to GP3 to for better performance and cost, to save cost. So see, in this case I have only 4 disks, but imagine I have 100 volumes, right? So you can just copy them like this, and within one command I can run it. I'll just show you. Excel, and I will show you here, it will automatically getting updated, right? So this is very, very useful when you have lot of activity to do. Okay, now copy these things, right, and save it in your list as like this, vim volumes, and paste here, right? Isn't it? So paste here. Okay, so there is a command. So I told you, right? So there is a command. I will show you. So AWS 7.2 modify EBS volume type. Okay, just go here. So see, AWS EC2 modify volume dash. So size we don't require. Okay, so take the second one. Okay, so we'll just copy it. We are going to modify accordingly. Okay, so paste it here. So we don't require this one. We are going to run it in the for loop. Okay, we are not modifying the size. We are not modifying the IOPS. Okay, so we are just changing the volume type. Yes. Okay, so I'm just copying it. See, just see the logs here. I mean, see the console here. So all you can see all are GP2. Okay, so now this will get changed to GP3 automatically. So for I in cat volumes. So where did I say volumes, right? Okay, do and done. So this will, what is this? There is no volume. Where I think, where did I say? Okay, CD back. I think here I created. Okay. Where did I create? Okay, so let us create now VI volumes. Let us copy the disk here again. Yeah. Yeah. So for I in modify the volume type to GP3. So just watch. See, by now I am getting an error. Why? Because see, I have given only the S3 full access to the user. So I will go back to the role. Okay, so view role. So to this role, I will add permission now. Okay, so EC2. So I will give EC2 full access. Yes. Now after this, I'll be able to create. I think it will take some time. Okay. See. Okay. So now if you go back to the console and if you check here, all will be in GP3 because GP3 is cheaper and we'll get the better throughput and the performance. Okay, so that is why we use same. So in these scenarios we will I mean this kind of programmatic access will be very, very useful. Okay, so whatever I have shown you today, these are all real-time things. Okay, so I'm going to copy the commands also. You can practice, right? And there is one more last thing in the IAM, right? So you can create a role in such a way that somebody else you can give access. Meaning, see, now there is a scenario. Okay, now going back to the diagram here. Now this is your account. Now if you want someone want to access your account, what is the way? You will create his user and you will give the password. That is one thing. Okay, but in sometimes there will be some scenarios where some third persons like some auditing company, some third party company like Deloitte or cyber security, they want to audit your account. So at that time you can create a role in such a way, like the same way, go to the roles and create a role. Here you are going to select the AWS account. Okay, and you have to mention the account ID. Okay, so 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, something like that. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, like this, and go next. So you can give only read-only access to that person, and he can switch role. Okay, for example, I have given only some access. Look, support user. Then go to next, and you can give role name. So once you create this, right, so this is the final step. So you can create the role name as auditor, and if you hit after this, so what I can do, I don't want to save this. So any user who have logged in using the IAM, right? So from his account only he can switch role. So how he can do that? So he will switch role like this. Okay, I have logged in using the root credential, so I will not have that option. So after this you will have one more option known as switch role. So that particular user will be able to switch role from his account and he can access my account. I mean, based on the permission what I have given him or her. Okay, so this is the concept of IAM credential. Okay, so now this has been changed to GP3, right? So it was so fast, isn't it? So imagine if you have 100 volumes, just copy paste here and just run the script. It will everything it will be done. But sometimes with CLI we have to be very careful. If some mistake in the CLI command, entire work will be disaster. Okay, so we have to be very careful. So I'm going to copy these commands for your practice. So we have executed a lot of commands today, right? So I'm going to share this. So any doubt, guys, before we wind up? Where is this? Okay, any doubt, guys? Any doubt you are having? And I'm going to share you the question and answers. So you have to, because this is very easy module. So I think I have written the answers already. So let me just check 1 second. Okay, not S3, wait. IAM, sorry. Yeah. Right. So IAM and components, different between policy and role, custom policy and managed policy. What is MFA? Root account versus IAM account. Okay, so this today we did this different between console access and programmatic access. Components of policy, last class only we did. And these are the activities you should explain. Okay, so this is very simple module and simple answer. You try to answer on your own. Okay, so this is I'm going to give you as an assignment, and along with this I'm going to give you also one more assignments so that you have to do. Okay, so that assignment is hands-on. Okay, so there is a lab for this where you can give access to a particular user based on the department. Okay, so this also you have to do. Okay, so there is a step-by-step procedure. Okay, so they have given some scenarios. So for that you have to do. Okay, so there is a detailed description. Okay, don't worry. So you just follow along and you will be at the end of this you will be able to achieve some department based access. Okay, so this also I'm sharing with you, right? So okay, so any doubt, guys? Okay, and before you know, don't forget to shut down or terminate the instances. Okay, simply, otherwise you will be simply build. So always make it a habit to terminate after the practice. Is it clear? Okay, if there are no doubts, then we are good to wind up. I am stopping the recording.